So is Tom Brady clutch? Well, yeah, of course. Of course, Tom Brady is clutch. But how clutch is he? Well, very clutch. I mean, he's like the most clutch quarterback in NFL history. So these general conversations are going to, already start off on a bit of an interesting note. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to really look at the data and see, well, how clutch is he? And is he clutch? Because there's definitely been things that I've accepted as fact that once I look at the data, I realize, oh, I was completely wrong. It's not true. So I figured let's just go through, look at the data, and see if I'm right and see if we're all right, not just me, about Tom Brady being clutch, or see if there's actually some interesting stuff there. So one thing is I was actually able to find something using 2015 data, so a little bit of a ways back, but that's fine because Tom Brady played. He's played from 2001 to now 2021, so it's when he played. And what the data is simply what I really want to talk about is 2-minute drills. So it's just how often does a team score in each situation with a 2-minute drill? So that's cool to use because now I can sort of factor that in. Because that's really what I want to focus on is 2-minute drills. How well does Brady do in these 2-minute drills in the playoffs in particular? I don't care that much about the regular season. I just want to know in the biggest of moments, in the biggest of spots, does he come through and how often does he come through? So that's what I'm going to be doing today is figuring out how well he did in 2-minute drills relative to how well every other quarterback would do. So let's jump into it. And I made this chart right here. So on the left, that's just the game. That's just which game we're talking about. So in this situation, it's 2001, the Raiders. That's the first game. And then next over, you have the situation. So that would be, how much time was left, and were you, down, or was it tied? And if you were down, by how much? Should be mentioned. Yes, I'm saying 2-minute drills, but what I'm actually doing is if there's 4 minutes or less, because that's kind of the end of the game. And there wasn't anything that was like, around 4 minutes or like higher than 4 minutes. Kind of like there's pretty much nothing from like 3:30 to like 6 minutes. So it works out that way. So 3:30 and lower is what I end up doing. You also have next column over, just where they were on the field. Then the next column, that's the result. And just the way I formatted it is if it's blank, that means that Brady, was successful at doing what he was supposed to do, which is either tie the game, take the lead, or, well, I guess those two things, tie the game or take the lead. The X means that he failed at that. So that's just what the result means. And then final category, percentage of success. This is how often the average team is able to have success in that spot. So if the game is tied, it's how often they were able to take the lead. If they were down 3, how often they were able to tie. And if they were down, 8, how often were they able to tie? Down 4, how often do you take the lead? Stuff like that. That's how it works. And so that's pretty interesting. To start off his career, Brady was on fire, right? The first 4 he nailed. 2001 against the Raiders, which many would say he got lucky. I mean, he did kind of get lucky with the tuck rule, which, A, was a weird rule that probably shouldn't have been a rule, and B, many feel was not implemented correctly on that play. But hey, they still were able to have success there. So even without that play, eventually Brady did get the tying field goal. And then 2001, of course, against the Rams, where there was John Madden famously said, play for overtime. The Patriots did not, and Brady was able to drive down the field. Vinatieri won it. Same thing of 2003. Vinatieri won that one as well. 2006 against the Chargers, Brady was able to go down the field and take the lead in that one. 2006 against the Colts, though, that was when he had his first mishap. That was, a huge comeback with the Peyton Manning Colts, where Manning seemingly could never get by the Patriots. Well, he finally did there. Then you also have a couple Super Bowls, 2007 and 2011 against the Giants. Also in the AFC Championship game against the Ravens, he did come through. That was also the Billy Cunliffe missed field goal game as well. So interesting thing there. You also have with the Giants and the Broncos, I already said the Giants, but you have the Broncos 2015, nearly came through, wasn't quite able to. And then the next year, Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons, obviously did come through. Following year against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, did not. But then in the AFC Championship game, came through against the Chiefs, and then did not come through at his own 1-yard line with 15 seconds left, down by a point against the Titans, which is understandable. So what does this all mean? Well, it actually means Brady is really clutch. So, an average quarterback in all of these situations would have came away being successful 2.91 of these times. So, that's what they would have had. They would have had just shy of 3 successful appearances total. Whereas Brady was successful 7 of these times, including his first 4. So, what's interesting is that, later on in his career, it wasn't quite as dominant, and maybe that's kind of why sort of older fans are a little bit more impressed with Brady than I think younger fans kind of like are less impressed with him potentially, because according to these situations, Brady actually failed on 6 of his last 9 chances. Now, a good amount of those were almost impossible chances. It was the Titans game where it was a 2% chance. The both Super Bowls against the Giants where there was under 10% of a chance. Against the Colts, it was under 10%. So the only real opportunities that he missed that he had a good chance was the 2015 Broncos game, but that was also against an incredible defense. And at his own 50, down by 8, it was still only a 20% chance. The only real good opportunity that he missed in the playoffs was that 2017 Eagles game, which is funny because that's probably the best game he's played in the playoffs. So it just kind of worked out that way. I also noticed it just happened to get dark during this video, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, so basically Brady is very clutch. We already knew that. I also went back and looked at how many times did he have a game-winning 2-minute drill in the that what mattered. If he never was able to get it done in these situations, how many Super Bowls would he have lost? How many Super Bowl appearances would he have lost? And it's 3 of each. He would have gone to 3 less Super Bowls, and he would have lost 3 more Super Bowls. So this now means that he would have only had, if he never got it done, he would only have 4 Super Bowls, which is still an incredible amount. And if he was average at this, he probably would, I would say, would only have 5 Super Bowls. But he's amazing at it, so he has 7. So kind of fun stuff. Yeah, the data says he is very clutch. It backs up what we all thought, but kind of a fun video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.